Week 10, Niners versus Rams. This is the, I guess, a rematch game for the Rams. And today they had the 125 kickoff, so it was a later game. They had, I think, 3 other games going. And so um, I believe before the start of this game, I looked at the scores and saw the Seahawks were up 21-0 on the Cardinals. And my first thought was, damn, that's a beatdown. I'm glad it's not the Niners. But of course, I'd been happy if the Niners were laying the wood down like that. Only to my chagrin, that's exactly what happened to the Niners. Rams got out on San Francisco 21-0. The first 2 drives, the Rams just drove down, like the defense wasn't even on the field. And then we had Jawan Jennings. When the Niners were driving, he fumbled. And so the Rams drive down and, they get their 3rd touchdown off that one. So yeah, rough game. 49ers end up closing the gap. So at one point in the second half, they were just down by 7. I think it was 21-14 at that point, if I'm remembering correctly. And then that's really, the Rams were kind of just off to the races at that point. Their offense looked excellent. Matthew Stafford was just carving the 49ers defense up. I mean, name the cliche, like a hot knife through butter. The 49ers had no answer for him. Tom Brady and I think Burkhardt was his partner in commentary. They kept talking about the Rams 3 tight end sets, and the Niners had no answer for it. And Brady would even break down of like, why is there no 49er on the side where they had, 2 tight ends stacked? And so they'd have big runs. The tight ends would break free, outrunning our linebackers, and Stafford just he's just feeling it right now. I mean, I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's been excellent for years, and right now he's just in that spot where he's dominating. So I mean, credit to Stafford. He's his football IQ is really, really high. He's got great weapons and Puka and Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, but he's using his tight ends too. He's using anybody, and because he can feel pocket pressure, not that the 49ers got a ton on him. He moves, he changes his arm angle, and he finds a way to drive these guys down there. So Stafford had a Pro Bowl MVP type game today. He looked excellent, really kind of unflappable. And so, yeah, the final score is 42-26. And I got to tell you, when the Niners matched up a few weeks ago, that's what I thought was going to happen, because San Fran had a ton of injuries going into that one, and it was a Thursday night game, and I figured the Rams were just going to thump San Francisco, where Niners came out in that game and had a great game plan. Mac Jones was getting the ball out of his hands really quick. Bourne had an excellent game, and the Niners end up winning that game. I think that one went into overtime. This one, yeah, no overtime, not even close. Niners got within 7 at one point, and then it was just pretty much a free fall from there. But let's get into the stats. Give credit to the Rams. They dominated. So we'll do the Rams offense first. Matthew Stafford, 24 of 36, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 sack. Like I said, the only pressure they would get on Stafford really was when the coverage was so good. They were coverage sacks. Running game, Kyron Williams, 14 carries, 73 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 5.2 average. Blake Corum, his backup, 13 carries, 56 yards. No touchdowns, but a 4.3 average. So you could see we weren't able to stop their run game. Receiver-wise, Devontae Adams, 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown. He looked really good. Seemed like he might have pulled something in his back late in the game, and so he came out. I don't remember if he came back in, but I saw them working on it during the game. And then we have Puka Nacua, 5 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown. There was a couple screen plays, at least 2, where they threw to Nacua, and I'm like, oh, the Niners got him. But the blocks would get there, Puka would make a move, and yeah, he's getting first down off these things. So to me, it seems like great scheme Rams, but there's something missing in our defense, despite all of our injuries, where the guys got to make plays. They got to make plays and shut that down. And then you have the tight ends. Colby Parkinson, 4 for 41 and a touchdown. Tyler Higbee, 3 for 33. And then I think Ferguson's the other guy. He had 1 catch, but 32 yards. So their 3 tight ends combined get a little over 100 yards. So good for them. Rams had no turnovers. Going over to the 49ers, yeah, Mac Jones. Mac Jones played good. He was solid. I thought he had good pocket presence. He's pretty accurate with his throws, making good decisions. So he was 33 of 39, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then he had an interception on 4th down, which, he's trying to make a play. If we don't get it, it's a turnover. So, you know, the interception helped with field position, maybe by like 10, 15 yards. No sacks, so that was good. Our offensive line held up, so give them credit. Spencer Buford was back. I think this is his 2nd game. He played most of the game, if not all of it, at left guard. So Colby, our rookie, goes back to the bench, and then Jake Brendel was back, our center. And so, I was surprised because the Rams pass rush, especially with Jared Verse, is pretty fantastic, and they weren't all in Mac Jones' face. So Mac had a good game, rushing the ball wise. Christian McCaffrey was leading carries, but he only had 30 yards for a 2.5 average. So, the couple games ago, maybe it was last game of the game before, rush game looked like vintage 49ers with C-Mac. Not today. The Rams had to answer for that. Brian Robinson Jr., though, he looked really good. He had 8 carries for 41 yards, 5.1 average, and he got a touchdown. He looked like a beast. Somebody that, I've been wanting them to not beat down C-Mac so much with all the reps. And so this is Brian Johnson looked good. He looked powerful. Receiving-wise, George Kittle looked great. Made some really tough catches. He had 9 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. And then you had Juwan Jennings, 6 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. But he had that fumble that led to 7 points where the Rams go up 21-0. C-Mac had 8 receptions, 66 yards. So total, what did he have? 96 yards, almost 100 yards. And then a couple other guys. Demarcus Robinson had 3 for 34, and then other guys had, 1 to 2 receptions. Kendrick Bourne only had 1 reception for 19, where I think when we played the Rams the first time, he had double-digit receptions. So Niners get 2 turnovers. Mac Jones throws an interception, which I said was on 4th down, and then Jennings gives that fumble, and I believe the Rams converted touchdowns on both of those. Defensive wise, I don't even want to give these guys shout outs because Matthew Stafford and the Rams could do whatever they wanted. I'm just going to tell you who the leading tacklers were. Jair Brown, 10 tackles, and Bethune, he had 10 tackles. Tackles for loss, Bethune had 1, D. Winters had 1, and then Kalai Davis had another one. Sacks, Davis had half a sack. And I'm not seeing, the other sack was Keon White, the guy we traded to from the Patriots. And we'll just do some team stats real quick. So first downs, 31 for the Rams, 24 for the Niners. Total plays, it's close, right? 67 for the Rams, 60 for the Niners. Total yards, they had 401, we had 393. So we just made those mistakes and, couldn't get the ball in there. Passing, we had more yardage. Rushing, they had 50 more yards than us, like 52. And then time of possession, they had 5 more minutes than us. So sadly, this is kind of how I've been thinking the Niners team. This is probably the real reflection of how the Niners are with all these injuries. I know, we have that winning record, but really have only beat down, I think, 1 team. And so I was hoping this game was going to be closer, but the Rams handled business today and wasn't even really a competition. So hopefully we'll turn it around. We play the Cardinals in week 11, but we're starting to get guys healthy, but our defense missing Bosa and Warner. Those are just really 2 really, really big holes. So keep your fingers crossed. We're going to turn it around, but it feels like despite the winning record, there's a lot of rebuilding that we need to do. All right, 49er fans, I'm going to say keep hope alive, even though I'm sounding very bleak right now. Hopefully next week we have a better showing against the Cardinals. All right, y'all, be well.